Okay, so we are going to go over the 4 questions from the EdPuzzle that you had on Monday. The questions were really difficult for some of you, and since there were only 4 of them, if you missed one, you were already at a 75, which kind of stinks. Um, so I am not going to end up putting this EdPuzzle grade in the grade book, but I do want to go over the 4 questions with you, okay? So this first question says the clipboard measures 33 centimeters. How many millimeters is that? So you can think about it a couple different ways. We can say that 1 centimeter equals 10 millimeters. Okay. So if you have 33 centimeters, then how many millimeters are you going to have with that? So you would need to multiply 33 times 10, okay? And whenever you multiply something by 10, you just do what? You can add what to the end? A 0, okay? So 33 times 10 would be 330. If you are looking at the chart, the King Henry chart, so this was on last week's EdPuzzle. The King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. So if we're starting with 33 centimeters, we would be starting here at centimeters. So we would have 33 centimeters, and we would be going from centimeters to millimeters. So we are hopping to the right 1 spot. That means that we're multiplying by 10, okay? So if we had 33 and we hop 1 spot to the right, essentially our decimal point is moving 1 spot to the right as well. So if we look at 33, that's a whole number. So our decimal point would be here if we were to put 1 in there. And it would go 1 spot to the right like that, and you would just simply fill that in with a 0. So that would give you 330 millimeters. Okay, that one wasn't too difficult. These next 3 were pretty difficult though. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next one. Lacey and her family traveled more than 60 kilometers, or some people say kilometers, to go camping. So more than 60. At which campground did they stay? So your choices were these 4 places. And what unit are all of those places in? They are in meters, but up here in our question, it says kilometers. So we're going to take this 60 kilometers and we are going to convert that to meters so that we're comparing all the same unit. So I would say I could say it this way. I could say 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters. So when I put what I know, so I've got 60 kilometers, how many meters is that going to be? So I am going to be multiplying by 1,000. So what is 60 times 1,000? 60,000, right? So that is going to be equal to 60,000 meters, okay? If you used the King Henry chart up here, if we're starting at kilometers, so we're starting here, and we have 60 of those, and we're going to meters. Remember, your base unit are your meters, your grams, or your liters. So if we're going from here, kilometers, over to meters, we're going to the right 1, 2, 3, or in other words, we're multiplying by 10 again, by 10 again, which means we're multiplying by 1,000. So 3 hops to the right means our decimal is also going to move 3 hops to the right. So if I had 60 and it's a whole number, so we don't have a decimal point. But if it were there, our decimal point is always after the ones place. It's going to hop to the right 3 places also. So 1, 2, 3, and we would have zeros in our little, I call them little egg cartons because that's what they look like. And then we would just go back and put in our comma. So that would be equal to 60,000. So Lacey and her family traveled more than 60 kilometers or more than 60,000 meters to go camping. At which campground did they stay? So we need to find the campground that's more than 60,000. Is it Happy Hollow? No, that's only 6,000. Is it Cottonwood? 60,100. Yes, that's more. Maple Grove is only 59. That's not more than 60. Mason's Lake is exactly 60,000 meters, but up here it says more than. So you're finding the answer that is more than, which would be Cottonwood. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one. All right, look at these cute little babies. All right, Kendra's mom just had twins. Baby Kate weighed 3,500 grams, and baby Ella weighed 3,650 grams. When Kendra was born, she weighed 4 kilograms. Which of the 3 sisters weighed the most at birth? So we've got 2 answers in grams and 1 answer in kilograms. So I'm going to keep the grams the way that they are, and I'm going to convert 4 kilograms to grams. Okay, so this is Kendra. So Kendra weighed 4 kilograms. So 1 kilogram is equivalent to 1,000 grams. So if Kendra weighed 4 kilograms, how many grams was that? So I would be multiplying by 1,000. Right, it would be 4,000. So Kendra weighs she weighed 4,000 grams when she was born. So now I can compare all 3 of those weights. Now, if I were to use the King Henry chart up here, if I'm starting at kilograms, 4 kilograms here, and I'm converting to grams, remember, these are your base units, which are your meters, grams, liters. So I'm going from kilograms. Oh, sorry. I did that wrong, didn't I? No, I did that right. Kilograms to grams. So I started at 4 kilograms, and I'm going to change that to grams. So that's 3 hops to the right. 4 kilograms, if we had a decimal point there, it's going to go 3 hops to the right, and that is simply 4,000. Okay, so now we can compare the 3 babies' weights. So Kendra weighed 4,000, Ella weighed 3,650, and Kate weighed 3,500. So which baby weighed the most at birth? Kendra. Okay, so Kendra weighed the most. Now we could do this the other way, and we could change the grams to kilograms and compare it that way. So let's do that, and I'll show you the difference between multiplying and dividing by 1,000. So let's go from grams back to kilograms. So we would be starting here where grams are, okay? And we would be going back 1, 2, 3 to kilograms. So if I was starting with 3,500, this is Kate. My decimal point would be here, and I would go this way. 1, 2, 3, and my decimal point would be between the 3 and the 5. So Kate weighs 3.5 kilograms. Ella was 3,650. So here would be the decimal point. We would move that to the left. 1, 2, 3, or that means divide by 1,000. What was her name? Kate. No, Ella. So Ella would weigh 3 and 65 hundredths of a kilogram. And we know that Kendra weighed 4 kilograms. So now we're comparing all kilograms, and 4 is bigger than the others. Okay, so Kendra weighed the most. All right, and then our last question. Sadie is making punch for her parents' anniversary party. The recipe calls for 2 liters of sherbet, 2 liters of lemon lime soda, and 3,724 milliliters of fruit punch. What size of punch bowl does Sadie need? And our answers are in both milliliters and liters. So let's change our liters to milliliters to start with. Let's change these two so that we're comparing all the same units. So 2 liters of sherbet. So 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. Okay. Again, here are your base units of meters, grams, liters. So one of these liters equals 1,000 of these little milliliters. So if I have 2 liters of sherbet, how many milliliters is that? 2,000. Okay, I'm multiplying by 1,000, or I'm going 1, 2, 3 spots to the right. And 2 liters of lemon lime soda is also 2,000 milliliters. So 2 liters equals 2,000 milliliters. Okay, so how many milliliters of punch is she making if she has all of those ingredients together? So we are going to, let me get some more room here. I'm going to erase this. So we know that each of those, the sherbet and the soda are both 2,000 milliliters. So we've got 2,000 mLs of sherbet, 2,000 mLs of soda, and 3,724 mLs of punch. So in all, we have, let's see, this is going to be 724, and that's going to be 7. So in all, we have 7,724 milliliters of stuff going into the bowl for our punch. So is bowl A 7,500 milliliters going to be enough? Nope. Is bowl D 7,700 milliliters going to be enough? Nope. So A and D are both out. Those ones are too small. Now the other ones are in liters. Okay, so we have a 7-liter punch bowl. If we had a 7-liter punch bowl, how many milliliters is that? 7,000, right. So is that going to be enough? Nope. So we know then, C has to be our answer. So we're going to need an 8-liter punch bowl in order to fit all of this inside of it. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so those are the answers to those 4 EdPuzzle questions. So they were a little bit tricky, but now that we went over them, hopefully that cleared some things up. All right.